Hello and welcome to Geico SportsNite. I'm Chris Williamson. The Brow, Anthony Davis, delivered a curveball to the NBA Monday when he announced he wouldn't sign the long-term extension with the Pelicans this summer and he'd rather be traded. One of the best big men being on the market makes things spicy for the Knicks. They've been listed as the favorites to land the All-Star in the Eastern Conference. The five-time All-Star gives up a 5-year, $240 million extension this summer with the Pelicans, and he wants to be on a team that is in the mindset of winning. He's averaging almost 30 points and 13 boards this year. What better place to win than in the Big Apple? All right, Knicks taking on the Hornets in Charlotte. New York looking to snap its 9-game losing streak. Third quarter, Knicks up 1. Kevin Knox with the step. He hits the 3. Knox led New York with 19 points. Later in the third, Knicks up 1 again. Kadeem Allen, just called up from the G League, spins in the lane, knocks down the jumper. He had 8 points in his Knicks debut. Fourth quarter, New York down 73-71. Alonzo Trio, the alley-oop. Pass to Mitchell Robinson for the dunk. Another look, Robinson's back is to the hoop. It's tied at 73. Soon later, Hornets up 3. Kemba Walker makes a great pass out to Malik Monk. He drains the 3. It would be all Charlotte from there as the Knicks lose 101-92. All right, Nets, winners of 6 straight, taking on the Celtics. Brooklyn was down 10 at the halftime, but came roaring back thanks to D'Angelo Russell. Pulls up from deep, gets the friendly bounce to tie it at 68. Ensuing possession, Russell fires another 3, and it goes in, giving the Nets their first lead of the game. Russell finished with a game-high 25. Fourth quarter, they're down 1. Jaylen Brown finds Aaron Baines underneath the rim, scoops it in later in the fourth. Brown goes behind his back, unable to finish. Marcus Morris there to clean up the miss, and it rolls in. Celtics looking to put this game away as they're up 9. Brown from the corner. He had 21 points off the bench. Nets' 6-game win streak comes to an end, losing 112-104. All right, so here's a look at the Eastern Conference standings right now after that game. Bucks leading the way at number 1. Celtics are in 5th place, but have picked up their play as of late. Nets still in 6th place, so if the season ended Monday, they would be in the postseason. Here's Kenny Atkinson on their loss.
It was rebounding in the zone, and I felt like there were a couple of rebounds he could have gotten in there and gotten, so teachable moment. And then, we made some subs, and I thought the subs were playing good, so just kept it that way. Also with the in mind that we got another game tomorrow night, so all that played a factor.
Time now to talk some hoops with Mark Malusis and Sal Licata. So it's probably going to take Kristaps Porzingis and the number 1 pick for them to trade for Anthony Davis. Do you think they should trade for him?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he's a top 3 player in the sport. I mean, that's what Anthony Davis is. And I get that when you look at the league, it's a guard-oriented league. It's shooting threes, and he's a big man, and teams can certainly use formations and use lineups to kind of minimize his impact and certainly make him a little bit of a defensive liability. But he's got guard skills at 6'11". And listen, Kristaps Porzingis is an if. I mean, he's not a certainty. Certainly, he's an unbelievable talent at 7'3", can't stay healthy. I don't know if his body can hold up. And I look at that first-round draft choice. I don't know what that pick is going to be. You're going to tell me it's number 1 overall? Then I have a little bit more hesitation giving up that kind of pick when you look at Zion Williamson coming out of Duke. However, with the new lottery system, I don't know if that's going to be the number 1 overall pick. And I look at Anthony Davis as a guy that I know is an established superstar, is looking to win. I don't know why you'd want the Knicks if he's looking to win, but looking to win. And that's a guy that I know is an absolute certainty.
Look, I understand what Davis is. I mean, he's a stud. Now, health is a big issue. The fact that they can't win in New Orleans, and they should have been better than they have been since he's been there. Injuries aside, they got off to a great start this year, and for whatever reason have gone in the tank. So I worry about the fact that New Orleans has done nothing with him. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. I'm fine with getting him. I'm fine with giving up the first overall pick if that's the case, or Porzingis. You got to give up both?
Yeah,
I mean, that's an awful lot. Now, I know that maybe the Lakers could go out there and give up more. The Celtics, if they wait, can maybe give up more. But you're going to give that up for the Knicks, both those?
Well, listen, I mean, if you have Anthony Davis, what's the role of Porzingis on the team? I mean,
right, but let me ask you, if Porzingis is fully healthy and playing, and we've only seen it in flashes, if he's fully healthy playing to his peak ability, don't you think his game translates better in today's style than maybe Anthony?
No, I mean, listen, I'd rather matter if Davis. If you're comparing players, I think Davis is a better overall player.
Right, the outside game for Porzingis and his size, to me, would make him a better fit for today's style. Davis the better player, but still, now you're not giving up just Porzingis.
No, I know you're giving up. I understand. Listen, perfect world, you'd rather hold on to one of them and not give up both assets, right? So, I mean, in a perfect world, you'd probably rather trade Porzingis, another injury-prone player, for Anthony Davis, who's a more proven injury-prone player with the New Orleans Hornets. But you want and hold on to the number one. But with the Lakers come calling, with the Celtics potentially in the summer, you're going to have to give to get. I mean, the Knicks should be interested in Anthony Davis. Whether or not he ends up in New York remains to be seen.
I think the Lakers have the front. They have probably a better shot. Right.
I wonder why.
Well, it's good that Rich Paul represents both players.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the Nets. So they lose to Boston, but they look really good against them. After that performance, do you think they're a contender or pretender in the East, Sal?
No, I mean, I think they're a contender for a playoff spot, one of the final 3 playoff spots, but they're a pretender as far as going up against a team like the Boston Celtics, like the Sixers. Obviously, you could throw in the Bucks and the Raptors. They're not going to beat one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. I don't even think they could beat the Pacers, even without Oladipo, if that's the matchup. The Nets could get healthy, fully healthy. Maybe they have more of a chance to beat a team like the Pacers without Oladipo, but they're not at that level. I mean, the fact that the Nets are even in the playoffs is a success. They're not ready to win a round in the Eastern Conference.
No, Sal, I think you nailed it. I mean, I think they're a playoff contender. I don't think they're a championship contender. So certainly Atkinson's done a nice job of player development. This team is bought in. They play well together. They play great team basketball. The 6-game winning streak came to an end up in Beantown. Put all that aside, they're not a championship caliber team. You put them in a series against the Toronto Raptors, they're going to lose. You put them in a series against Milwaukee and the Greek Freak, they're going to lose. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, because in essence, they're just not good enough, not talented enough at this stage of the development, but it's still a program and an organization that is clearly on the rise in the East.
I think that's the biggest point, too, is they're just not there. You know, their style of play, they're good teammates, the way that they play hard, Atkinson has them playing right, you could only go so far. I mean, eventually you're going to need some extra talent if you want to take that next step. And to be one of those top teams in the Eastern Conference, they need more talent.
But as you mentioned, it's great to see the Nets in a successful position for once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, got to have one team.
Right.
All right,
gotta have one team to watch.
Yeah. Moose out. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure. All right, still ahead, more hoops talk as Zion Williamson and the Blue Devils were in action. Is there any doubt that Zion should be the first pick overall? And the Super Bowl festivities kicked off on Monday down in Atlanta. We'll hear from Brady and Belichick right when Geico Sports Night returns.
Geico Sports Night is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Hey, I heard you moved into a new apartment.
Yeah, it's pretty stressful. This music is supposed to relax me, though.
Maybe you mellow out a bit if you got Geico to help you with your renter's insurance.
Wow. Geico helps with renter's insurance. Good to know.
Yeah, and they can save you a lot of money.
Wow. Suddenly I feel so relieved. You guys are fired.
Get to know Geico and see how much you could save on renter's insurance.
Looks like you've got a bad case of single-game fixation.
What's that, Dr. F. Kings?
It's where you're too focused on just one game, but don't worry. The cure is DraftKings' new sportsbook app. You can bet on the games you want anytime you want. It's easy. All you have to do is download it, make a deposit, pick a sport, place a bet, and if you download now, DraftKings will match your first bet instantly up to $500.
Doc, you talk too much. I already downloaded the app, placed a bet, and won. Now I'm watching this documentary on horseshoe crabs.
Horseshoe crabs are tasty.
Sorry, sir, this area is for first-class passengers only.
Oh, it's okay. I'm a doctor.
You're not a real doctor. So.
That hurts. Okay, I'm going. Coach, it is.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and we'll instantly match your first bet up to $500. Enter promo code PRIDE.
If you want a car from a company that's been building them for 115 years, get a Ford. If you want Waze and Amazon Alexa compatibility, get a Ford. If you want a car that doesn't have any of that, get anything but a Ford. Otherwise, you're gonna want a Ford.
Now you can get a new Ford Escape with 0% financing for 60 months or lease for just $139 a month. Only at your local Ford store.
If you're in the market for a new set of Bridgestone winter tires at the guaranteed lowest price, get to Town Fair Tire. We get shipments of Bridgestone tires arriving daily. And with over 400,000 tires in stock, we're New England's largest discount tire dealer. So if you're looking for a new set of Bridgestone Blizzak tires at the guaranteed lowest price, get to Town Fair Tire. Because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody!
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Saturday, UConn women's basketball returns to SNY. Katie Lou Samuelson and the Huskies head to Cincy to take on the Bearcats in some conference play. Coverage begins with pregame, Saturday at 11:30, only at SNY.
Back now with two of the nation's biggest stars, Duke's Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett, as they visit Notre Dame. Duke got off to a hot start, largely thanks to Zion. Shows off the post moves here. Duke started the game on a 17-2 run. Now, the Irish would cut into it, now a 9-point game, but Williamson had an answer. He connects from long range. 17 points for Williamson in the first half. Second half, it's Barrett's turn. Hits a step-back three. 17 points, 9 boards for him later in the half. Mr. Zion Williamson doing more work inside. Snags an impressive offensive board and lays it back in. 26 points for Williamson as Duke rolls 83-61. Now, all the moves the Knicks have been making lately, not playing in his canter, just focus on the development of the young guys, points to them wanting a high draft pick. Recently, we put a list together of the top college players New York should eye for, starting with number 5. At number 5, we're looking at St. John's Junior point guard Shamori Pons. This pick may surprise people, but Pons is a local talent out of Brooklyn and has shined when playing for the Red Storm. He's averaging roughly 20 points per game this season and shooting almost 50% from the floor. At number 4, we get to our first Duke player, Cam Reddish. Despite hitting a game winner against Florida State, Reddish fell from last month's number 3 ranking because his poor shooting numbers have slightly dropped his stock. Now, if Reddish can find his scoring touch during ACC play, this would be a slam dunk selection for the Knicks. At number 3, we take a look at John Morant from Murray State. Now, before you question why the Knicks would target a guy from Murray State over a Power 5 team, just know that the sophomore point guard is averaging 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists on about 54% shooting. At number 2, Duke's R.J. Barrett, still a no-brainer. Barrett could easily go number 1 overall, but the Knicks will gladly settle for him if he drops to them. See, R.J. has been on a tear this month, increasing his averages in points, rebounds, assists, and field goal percentage. This kid can do it all. And at number 1, we still have our favorite player, Zion Williamson. Zion made his MSG debut back in December, and the freshman dropped 17 points and 13 boards, which made Knicks fans dream for more of that at the Garden. He can create space, rebound, and make his teammates better with his unselfish play and transition skills. Zion could be the second unicorn for this Knicks team. That's it for this edition of Knicks Draft Watch. Be sure to tune in next month to see which targets have risen and which have possibly dropped off. Time now for Double Take with Moose and Sal. Okay, so you guys saw the list of players. When you look at Zion, is it automatic that he should be the number 1 pick?
I don't think it is. I love watching him play. I get why he's fun. I'm not so sure, Moose, that his game is going to translate to the level of play that you've seen from him at Duke to the next level in the NBA. Look, at Okafor years ago, everybody loved Okafor. Now, I think Williamson is better than Jahlil Okafor, but people thought he was a can't miss, down low, look at his size, all that stuff. Williamson, to me, I'm worried about it. Doesn't have the outside shot, doesn't have the size, and then at the next level where there's more speed, more size, will his game translate? So I love watching him play. I can't wait to see him at the next level. I'm not so sure, though. There are other guys that would intrigue me if I'm the Knicks and I have the first overall pick. I'm not just locking it up with Zion Williamson.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I would lock it up. I mean, he is a remarkable talent, but you want to say, I mean, he's almost a man amongst boys on the college level at 6'8". I mean, he's around 250 pounds. The ability to finish at the rim, he's 75% shooting percentage in the paint. You mentioned the questions in terms of the outside shot. No, I don't think without a shadow of doubt. I think it depends on who ends up with the number 1 overall pick. I think Chris hit upon a guy that's going to be a riser, and he clearly is. And some might say he might be the best pure point player coming into the draft is Ja Morant, because you look at what he is doing this year collegiately. Last year became the first collegiate player in the last 20 years to go 40-11, 40 points, 11 assists, 5 steals in a game. He's trying to become the first college player to have over 25 points and over 10 assists on average over the course of a season. He's a freaky athlete that guy's Westbrook size and Westbrook athleticism and could shoot from the outside, and he's got 6'3", and he's a guy that can also distribute as well. So he's not just a scoring guard. So as we discussed in terms of where the NBA is going right now, in terms of a guy that was not well recruited coming out of high school, was not a big-time recruit, and what he's developed into, Ja Morant's a guy to keep an eye on.
And don't you think that that's more of a position of need for the Knicks? I mean, they need that scoring guard. So, I mean, Knox is supposed to be that scoring forward that they have, so that's similar to what R.J. Barrett could bring, and I like Barrett as a player. Williamson, we don't know what his position is going to be at the NBA level or how his game will translate, but if you look at a guy like Morant and the Knicks, you know, look, if the Knicks have number one and he's there, that's going to be a tough decision because that, to me, Moose, is the type of player that this organization has been lacking forever. It's a guard-driven league. The Knicks don't have one that can score, so maybe Morant would be there.
And here's the intriguing thing. If they end up with the number one overall pick, do they succumb to the pressure of Zion?
You almost rather not have it and have somebody else make it.
Well, that's exactly right, because, you know, that would be because the college basketball landscape has all been about Zion Williamson, right? You've had Jim Boeheim basically saying he's, you know, a thinner Charles Barkley on the college level, that kind of a game. Everyone's basically said you can't wait for him to be this kind of an NBA superstar. If you end up with the number one overall pick and you're sitting there and say you like Morant more than Williamson, do you have the guts as an organization to make that selection?
Yeah, the size, obviously, with Williamson scares you a little bit. Look, he plays like Shaquille O'Neal, but he's not 7 foot, so there's a little bit of a down low. I'm talking about the physicality of it. Doesn't have the shot outside. I know he's faster than Okafor. He's a fun player to watch, energetic.
He's in much better shape than Okafor.
Yeah, right. And you can tell he's a passionate player in great physical condition, a specimen. I just worry about his limitations as far as being all in. This is a surefire number one pick going to change the
Well,
franchise.
guys can evolve, right? That outside shot can come. I mean, when Michael Jordan was leading North Carolina, he was a dunker as well, a finisher at the rim. His mid-range game did develop with the Chicago Bulls. Now, that did come with work ethic and Michael Jordan's work ethic. And I don't know if Zion Williamson is on that level of work ethic. Not many players are. But he can evolve. You got to remember, he's only 18, 19 years of age. So that outside jumper could come. But if you're taking his game right now and putting the NBA at his size, is he going to be as successful? Probably not.
It'll be interesting to see. I think if the Knicks do get the number one pick, they're going to have a very tough decision on their hands.
Yeah. And they better get it right. Can't miss it.
They've been making a lot of wrong decisions.
Yeah, right. Whether it's 1, 3, 5, doesn't matter. They got to get it right. Yeah.
All right, Sal.
Do you trust the Knicks to get it right?
I don't think anybody does. Sal Moose, thanks so much.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, coming up, the Patriots and Rams arrived in Atlanta as Super Bowl week is now in full effect. We'll hear from both head coaches and, of course, Tom Brady, who's heading to his 9th Super Bowl appearance. Plus, why the Jets might have major influence into which QB the Giants may pick in this year's draft. We'll explain why right here when Geico Sports Night returns.
It's time to refinance your student loans. You can go to one lender and hope for a good rate, or a site with multiple lenders that give you rate guesstimates and sell your data, so you're swamped with sales calls. Don't gamble. Refinance at Credible.com and compare actual rates, not guesstimates, from top lenders without affecting your credit score. People have saved an average of $200 a month by refinancing to a lower rate. Visit Credible.com before your next payment is due.
Here's your Buick, sir. Actually, that's my Buick.
Your Buick doesn't have a roof rack. This is my Buick. How are we gonna fit in your mom's Buick?
Easy.
I like that new Buick.
Me too.
I was actually talking about that Buick.
I knew that.
Did you?
Buick's fresh new lineup is full of surprises. Pay no interest for 72 months on most Buick models. Or current eligible lessees get this low mileage lease on this 2019 Encore for around $149 per month.
When you've represented injured people for as long as we have, word spreads. At Trantolo & Trantolo, we're dedicated to getting the very best compensation for people who've been injured through no fault of their own. We're an established law firm with offices throughout Connecticut. I'm Keith Trantolo, and we spend every day helping people just like you. If you've been hurt, call us. Trantolo & Trantolo. Let our family help your family.
Check out my Playscape 2-piece sectional. The $7.99 price tag makes it great. The 2 colors and 5 decorative pillows makes it greater. The comfy pop-up sleeper with Bobapedic memory foam makes it greater.
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Greater.
This winter, find what you love in New York State. Plan your winter escape at iloveny.com.
SNY.TV. All things New York sports. All on one site with easy access to up-to-the-minute news on all of your favorite New York area teams. Only on SNY.TV, your online home of all things New York sports.
Super Bowl 53 is officially underway.
Not giving him any advice.
That's classified information.
We're now on motorboat.
Oh, you gotta love it. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick probably have the media week for Super Bowl memorized at this time. The two participated in their ninth Super Bowl media day. They're going for their sixth ring, something no coach or players ever won. Here's Brady talking about the game.
I feel like for a long time, people have expected us to, do so well. And those are good expectations to have, but also unrealistic a little bit at times. But I really feel like this team came together when we needed to. We came together as a group of men that, gave everything they could for this one goal, was to get to this game. And, the book hasn't ended. There's one chapter left, and hopefully we can make it a great chapter.
I don't think this team spends a lot of time worried about what everybody else thinks. We know what we feel like we have to do. We have a lot of confidence in each other. We work hard and try to get things done. And when we don't do them, we try to correct the mistakes and move on and do them better. So I think that's what's the most important thing, not what everybody is saying outside, whether it's good or bad or whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Rams coach Sean McVay is a mere puppy compared to Belichick and Brady when it comes to handling Super Bowls. He's making his Super Bowl debut in his second year as LA's coach and is just 33, half of Belichick's age. The youngster, though, couldn't be more juiced to face the Pats.
It's incredible with what he's done. And you just look at the consistency at which they've been able to operate. I was joking around, but you're serious. When I got a chance to go in Washington, we went and played at New England, and here comes Brady coming out, and my name is Hove, and the fans are going crazy. I want to be in the corner like, man, he's something, man. So you respect him as a competitor, but it's a great opportunity for us to be at our best this week, and we're certainly looking forward to the challenge, but we know we got to be at our best to give ourselves a chance.
Wouldn't it be something if the team they share a home stadium with screwed over the Giants in the draft? Gang Green holds the number 3 pick. Of course, they aren't going to select a quarterback, but as Ralph Acciano says, they could throw a wrench in the G-Men's plan to draft a QB.
There are still 3 months to go before the NFL draft, but as the Giants begin to prepare to scout the quarterbacks that are available to them in the hopes of maybe finding Eli Manning's successor, there's a little bit of drama that they have to keep an eye on. And that's because the Jets are a team that are positioned perfectly to mess up any of the Giants' plans. The Jets, of course, are picking 3rd in the draft, and the 4 teams behind them, the Raiders at 4, the Bucs at 5, the Giants at 6, and the Jaguars at 7, all could want to take a quarterback, which puts the Jets in the sweet spot. Because if you're a team like the Dolphins, the Broncos, or even the Redskins, and you want to get a quarterback, you have to trade up to the Jets' position. So it's kind of ironic. The Jets were the team that benefited the most last season by the Giants' decision to take Saquon Barkley and pass on Sam Darnold. And now the Jets could return the favor by pushing the Giants even further into quarterback hell.
Here's a look at the current draft order. Picks 1 through 10 presented by DraftKings. Cardinals hold the number 1 pick. Jets and Giants at number 3 and 6, respectively. As Ralph mentioned, though, a lot could change if the Jets decided to trade that number 3 pick. Up next, why one of the newest Mets thinks they are real contenders this season and why he has so much faith in their pitching staff. That and more right here when Geico Sports Night returns.
Geico Sports Night is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Geico makes it easy to get help when you need it. With licensed agents available 24/7. It's not just easy. It's having a walrus and goal easy.
It's a walrus! Ridiculous!
Good job, Duncan! Way to go!
It's not just easy, it's Geico easy.
Duncan, stay up. No sleepies.
If you want a car from a company that's been building them for 115 years, get a Ford. If you want Waze and Amazon Alexa compatibility, get a Ford. If you want a car that doesn't have any of that, get anything but a Ford. Otherwise, you're gonna want a Ford.
Now you can lease a new Ford Explorer for only $269 a month. That's just $269 a month at your local Ford store.
On February 3rd, Super is going to the next level. No, keep going. Yeah, that next level. Because now you can legally bet on the big game. Get ready for hundreds of ways to bet with DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet on the winner, the coin toss, even bet live during the big game. With DraftKings Sportsbook, it's time to crank Super all the way up. Get an instant free bet up to $500 from the #1 mobile sportsbook in Jersey. DraftKings, the game inside the game.
The body, it is a work of art, an incredible feat of engineering, and a beautiful biological mystery. A mystery scientists work tirelessly to unravel. And while many questions remain, we now have new insight into why our immune system has difficulty detecting cancer cells in the body. This new understanding has led to a revolutionary approach called immunotherapy, and a new hope for fighting cancer. Immunotherapy works by boosting our body's natural immune system, empowering it to identify and eradicate many types of cancer cells. Speak with your doctor and visit su2c.org/immunotherapy to see if this approach may be right for you or your loved one. Your body might just be your greatest hope.
SNY Play Ball, presented by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, is back.
I'm happy because it's fun playing with each other.
Teaming up with the New York Mets, we're looking to help local baseball and softball leagues with grants,
Really excited that we got this grant.
clinics,
This experience, it was jaw-dropping, it was amazing.
and special Dream Day experiences.
It's unreal. It's definitely just a dream come true.
Right now, we're accepting applications for local youth baseball and softball leagues. To nominate a league in need, apply today at sny.tv/playball.
The Mets added to their bullpen depth with Justin Wilson this past week from Chicago, and the powerful lefty clearly loves what the Mets are doing. In a conference call with reporters, he said he believes the Mets could be a contender. So with a strong statement like that, he must hold a lot of faith in the pitching staff, right?
Clearly, the back end of the bullpen is now in great shape, and you have a starting rotation that I'd put up against any starting rotation in the league. So you got the pitching point down. And then offense, I think there were a few key injuries last year that having those guys back in the lineup this year will help. And there's no reason why the Mets shouldn't contend.
JT Realmuto, one of the best catchers in the league, might be shipped off to Cincinnati with the Reds, according to MLB.com sources. The Reds have been very proactive in looking to get the 28-year-old. Not clear what the Marlins would get in return, but probably a big package of prospects. All right, let's hope the saying, it's not how you start, but how you finish, rings true for the New York Rangers. After the All-Star break, the Rangers currently sit in 11th place in the Eastern Conference, while the team's just 21-20-7. They headed into the All-Star break with 3 straight wins. Will go a long way to keep that going in the second half of the year.
Second half, teams start to tighten things up. I think the awareness of all the little things needs to be even better because you're playing a lot of desperate teams. So that desperation needs to be there every night, but attention to details will be key, I think.
This next month is crucial, and I think we have to realize that too, that if things don't go our way, things could change around here, unfortunately, and that's our job.
Devils taking on the Penguins. Second period, Devils up 2-0. Pavel Zacha pokes the puck away, muscles with a one-handed pass to Brian Boyle, who buries a shorthanded goal. Devils lead 3-0. Later in the second, Devils up 3-1. Travis Zajac passes it to Blake Coleman, who beats Matt Murray top shelf. Devils go on to win 6-3. One football note before we go. Manish Mehta of the Daily News reported that the Jets will not be interested in free agent Kareem Hunt, who was released by the Chiefs after video surfaced of him hitting a woman. That's going to do it for Geico Sports Night. Stick around for a fresh edition of the show where we react to Anthony Davis winning a trade, whether the Nets are contenders in the East, and more. I'm Chris Williamson. Have a great night.